Hello, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to discuss with you the process of withdrawing money from your South African trading account. In the last two videos, I've been teaching about how an individual in Zimbabwe or anywhere else in Africa or the world can set up a share trading account in South Africa so that they're able to purchase and sell shares of companies that are listed on the JSE. I spoke primarily to my Zimbabwean audience and shared with them how, first of all, that is possible and it's legal. And I also shared with them the monetary regulations from the central bank that permit an individual to send money out of the country, and that for individuals the limit is 10,000 United States dollars before you need to apply for permission from the Reserve Bank, and that you are able to make personal investments. The Reserve Bank or the central bank allows for individuals to make personal investments outside of the country of up to the equivalent of 50,000 United States dollars before they need to have permission from the central bank. So 50,000 United States dollars translates to about anywhere between 750 and 800,000 rands. That's how much you can make as an investment as an individual from Zimbabwe before you start to need to get permission from the central bank. In the video following that, in fact, before I get to that point, I might actually say that I then shared what the requirements are to set up a share trading account in South Africa. If you haven't watched any of those videos, click the links in the description box. You will find both of them, all right? How to trade shares on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and secondly, the second video. Unfortunately, the title slips my mind, but the links are both in the description box. And today, I'm shooting this video in response to one of my viewers, Chris. He came to me and said, listen, so we start trading shares on the JSE and we start investing. How do we withdraw money? How do we withdraw our funds from our share trading account in South Africa back to, say, Zimbabwe, or back to, say, Botswana, or back to, say, New York or London, or wherever you might be watching me from? And the response to that is simple. There are two options. I'll share both of them. The first one, my first point in response to a question like, how then do you withdraw cash from your share trading account in South Africa? The process works this way. When you set up your trading account, when you apply for one, when you fill out the mandate forms have a section where they require you to fill your banking details. When I set up my account with the stockbroker in South Africa, I put in the banking details where I, wanted the money to go to in the event of a withdrawal. And so when you start to trade, make your investments, or you trade and then you realize your profits and you decide, okay, look, I think I can withdraw a portion of the money for me to use. All it takes is for you to write an instruction to your stockbroker to say, hey, look, kindly withdraw so much money from my account, right, or all of your money, or whatever you decide, the portion, you withdraw it, and the stockbroker can send it to you. And they sent me my money here in Zimbabwe, and it took 2 working days. I had the money. Right, now most guys that have come to me ask and say, look, what if I've sent money to South Africa using your money transfer agents like I referred to in the last video? All right, the name has come back, the title has come back, thank God. The title of the video, the second video that's in the description box, is how to fund your share trading account from Zimbabwe. or from anywhere else in the world. I speak predominantly to Zimbabwean people, but anyone can watch this video and, from wherever in the world. How do you fund your account? So the 3 ways I shared with you in that video of funding your account were, first of all, through a bank transfer, which in Zimbabwe has a lot of scrutiny. You have to answer a lot of questions because in Zimbabwe, as you are probably well aware, it's not legal to just send money out of the country with no explanations. They actually call it externalizing, which is a criminal offense. But there are rules. The rules do allow, the regulations from the monetary authorities do allow for an individual to remit or to send out specific amounts of money before they need permission. So you can transfer your funds through, firstly, your bank transfer, which would require that you have a foreign currency account and for you to deposit actual cash in your foreign currency account, and then you instruct your bank to transfer the funds to your stockbroker in South Africa. So that's the first way. Then the second way I discussed was the cash flow swap, which works if you have people in South Africa who need to have something paid for here, and you agree to say, hey, look, transfer so much money to this account and I'll pay whoever you need paid this side. It's easy, there's no scrutiny, but it's risky. For example, you have to have honest people on both sides of the transaction, otherwise it just won't work. And the third way that I pointed out, and this third way is what has prompted a lot of questions among you guys, was the use of money transfer agents. And I specifically referred to Access Finance because those were the easiest ones to come to mind. And those ones are the most popular amongst people because people often refer to them. People often use them to send money to England, to send money all over the world. All right? So you say you send money to your stockbroker through Access, and then you've traded and you've managed to make money from the markets. Your investments have grown, you've received dividends, you've had capital appreciation, you've sold off some of your positions, you've made money. What good is an investment that you've profited from if you can't withdraw the cash? It's a good question. It's a fair question. It's absolutely important, right? The answer to that is A, when you set up the account, your broker will ask you for your banking details. And they always say that, like, in the event of a withdrawal, which account should we credit money to? And South African brokers, unlike a good number of the Zimbabwean ones who are in trouble for making third-party payments, South African brokers do not do third-party payments. They always tell you, if you want us to credit an account, you make sure that you've specified that account when you open your bank account, when you set up your trading account with us. And they won't, pay money to another person who's not you, or another account which they don't have a record of. They just won't do it. So that's that. And when I had to make a withdrawal from my own account with my stockbroker in South Africa, all I did was send them an instruction to say, hey, withdraw so much money and credit the bank account that that I gave you when I opened the account. And your broker will normally write back or call you and say, just to confirm it, okay, the account number that you gave us is actually this one. Please advise us in the event of a change. And if your account number has changed, you then give them, your new account numbers. If it didn't change, you just tell them, no, it's the same one. Go ahead and send to this one. My broker, he's actually a subscriber to this channel, Sam. I know you're watching, and thanks a lot for following. He told me, look, make sure that your account is a foreign currency account, because I can't guarantee that the money that I'm sending to you will come through as hard currency if you give me a Zimbabwe dollar or a local currency account. So that is something that you also need to clarify. Right, and then the second way the second option on the table when it comes to withdrawing, and this one is a bit tricky because you'd need to have a South African bank account. If you have a South African bank account, then it's really easy. When you set up your account, your share trading account, or when you've selected your stockbroker, you then put your South African bank account, And whenever you need to withdraw, the process is really simple. You don't have to then, worry to say, hey, look, is it Zimbabwean? Is it this? Is it that? They just credit the money into your South African bank account. But as you are aware, I'm sure, South African bank accounts are not as easy to set up, especially if you're a foreigner and if you don't have a permit. So that might be a spanner in the works for you. That might disrupt your plans. But it is actually possible for a South African stockbroker to fund a withdrawal to a person who's not in South Africa. I've done it. I've done it. And once your withdrawal is in order, they've confirmed your banking details, they've confirmed all that they need to confirm, the cash is already in your account, the money can arrive in your in Zimbabwe within 2 working days. And just for those people who might worry and say, hey, look, what about South African exchange controls? What about South African regulations? Don't they have anything to say about foreigners who, would have sold investments in their country and then they move the money outside of the country? Yes, rules are everywhere. And South African exchange controls are also there, However, just so you know, in South Africa, you can transfer money outside of the country, all right, which is the equivalent, or rather of up to the equivalent of 2 million United States dollars. That's the amount of money an individual, or I think even companies, if I'm not mistaken, I would need to clarify there, but I know, especially in the case of individuals, that you can transfer funds outside of South Africa of up to the equivalent of 2 million United States dollars before you need permission from the South African Reserve Bank. So, for most retail investors, especially if you're starting out, you've got nothing to worry about. You've got nothing to worry about. Unless maybe you're one of those guys, a rich kid who's got, investments of over and above 2 million United States dollars in South Africa and you want to move all your money all at once, then you might have a problem. But for the majority of new guys, you really have nothing to be concerned about. If you make your investments, you fund your account there, you trade there, you invest there. When you decide to then withdraw your money, it's really simple. It's just a matter of giving them an instruction, and they'll credit the bank account whose details you would have provided when you set up the account in the first place. Or if there are any changes to your bank account, you then advise them. If you're able to set up a South African bank account, the better. You won't have any challenges or issues with making a withdrawal. They'll just simply put it into your South African account. They can also put it in your Zimbabwe account. It's all very possible, and it's doable. As I've said, guys, I've done it, and it worked. That's how I said it jokingly in the first video, but I was actually quite serious. That's part of the money I used to marry my wife traditionally. So it is possible. All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember, keep liking, leave a comment, share and subscribe. It helps the channel and it helps me too. And if you could, please indicate in the comment section below whether you would be happy to be part of a WhatsApp community, the FinSense WhatsApp community, where you interact with me directly about any of the topics that have been featured in the videos on the channel, and any content that you would like to see coming up. Thank you so much, guys. Keep well, happy investing, and God bless.